Hello guys, my name is Ademola Badmus and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, do not forget to like and subscribe. So in this video, we are going to start implementing a page object model approach to make our code simpler and easier to maintain. And the first thing we are going to do is we are going to try to hide our elements and the URLs that we used. So what we will do in this instance is basically create a file where we can have all of this, all the elements, we can have all the web elements and probably the URL that we used. So how will this benefit us, you would want to ask? Well, as you can see, we used this element, username, password, login button, and also this, we used it 4 times in this particular code. So let's paint a scenario. What if this particular ID becomes flaky and we needed to change it? As you can see, it is not exactly formed properly. Let's say it is serialized and the number there changed to 4. Does that mean that we have to come to our code and change this 4 times? Like change this to 4 and go to the next one and change to 4 times? Imagine if we had to do it more than that, and it is probably up to like 200 times that we've used this particular element. It means we have to walk through our code 200 times. But if we create a file where all these web elements are stored and we reference it in our code, it will make things easier for us, right? So that way we can essentially have the code already written for us in that manner. What am I trying to say? That you have a situation where anytime you need to make any changes, you just need to go to a particular place, make the change there, and the effect of the change would go through all your code without stressing. All right. So with that being said, let's get to it. So what I'm going to use to do that is I'm going to create an interface file inside our package. Do not forget, I've initially mentioned that a package is a collection of class files, interface, enum, and annotations. So with the interface file, we can create all these things there. Now, how do we create it in the interface file? Everything inside these codes, Java treats it as a string literals, which means that if we are creating this in our interface file, we are going to create it as string literals, meaning we will give it a string data type. So let's just go ahead and create the interface file. Then we pick an interface option. Let's call it element mapper. Pardon me. So let's do this. Now we have this. So let's test. Let's have string home page and copy. Let's cut the value of home page away from here. And let's do the same thing for username, right? And let's come here and put the values there. For the URL is this, and for the username field, rather, for the username field, it is this. It is this username, right? So with that done, let's test this in our code. So we just need to reference the element mapper here. Let's give it a name. Let's name it EM. So with EM here now, we can use EM to get our home page. Just to home page. So it already has our home page in it. As you can see, the home page is highlighted, but username field is not highlighted yet. So let me just copy this and do this. em dot username. Let me quickly comment out these 3 so I can test that one, so we don't have to wait for 4 runs. So let me comment this out and also comment them out here. So now let's run this and see. It is building as expected. Yeah, it's done building and now it will run. So we expect it to be able to launch the browser and launch the URL with it. Let's wait for that. Yeah, as you can see, it has launched the URL. And it has logged in successfully. Yeah. So we are going to go ahead. Let me undo all of these changes. We are going to go ahead and do the changes across the whole script right now. So I have tried to pause this video many times, but I can't. So you have to bear with me and let us do this together. So and I did not even create time to create somewhere else. Username. So because we have different username, so we'll have admin user, and that will be admin. Let's copy and paste to make things fast. So we have admin user, we have manager user, we have teacher user, and we also have student user. So this one will take the form of students, and this will be teacher, and this will be manager. So then the password field as well, let's copy this and paste to just try to make things fast. So password field will be password. And what else do we need to copy? The login button and the password itself. The password itself is let me paste again. We'll just need to change things that are there. Password is sandbox. So now the login button. The login button will be, what's the value of the login button again? The value of the login button is this. And we also need the welcome header. We also need the welcome header. We can leave the welcome text. We can leave the welcome text. This text, we can expose it. It's fine. So for the login button, we have this. No. We have this for the login button. This is it. And for the welcome header, we have this. So we have been able to copy all that we need. So we need to start putting them in those values. So we've already put the username field. So here we need to put the password. The password field. And here we'll put the admin user. The admin user. Ideally, this should be auto-populating itself, but my system is hanging and it's giving me issues. So we have this as password, and we have this as login button. It should be auto-populating it. So it might do that for you. Don't be surprised if it does that. And this should be the welcome header. Is that the name given to it? We will find out now. Yeah, now it is auto-suggesting just like I said. Better to be late than never. So since this is common to everywhere, so I'll just copy and paste, then I'll only change the types of users there to make things faster. Okay, and I'll change this to manager user. Do the same thing here and change this to teacher user. As you can see, it is auto suggesting it. And lastly, change this to student user. So this way, as you can see, everything will be selected, will be highlighted here. Oh, and it's taking time again to load. I don't know why. Maybe if I reopen it, it would show. Yeah, it is there now. So everything is being used, as you can see. So now that we've done this, if we try to run everything, I will stop it abruptly, but let's just see. It will run, at least once it gets to the manager user, I will stop it, then we will continue with the class. So as it is right now, we expect it to be able to run all through. So let's see that. Yes, it has logged in as an admin user. Now it is launching again, and this would work for the manager. Yes. Wow. So this is working. So let's just stop it. We don't have time. Oh, we ran into an error. What's the error? Expected to find welcome Max. Oh, the text has changed. That's weird. But the text has changed. That's weird. Anyways, you can see that it was able to launch it was able to launch it successfully. All right. So what we want to do now is find a way to still make it make more sense. So we still have a bit of conundrum because we are instantiating our our WebDriver at every point in time, and we don't want to do that. So let's do something about that, shall we? So let's remove this. And let's paste that here. Oh God, what did I do? Okay, yeah. So we have this. So having this means that the Chrome driver can be instantiated. But this is not going to solve our problem because we are trying to make sure that we have a situation where we don't need to be instantiating the Chrome driver at all times. So even if we make this one a public, right, that okay, you have it, and in every, it still doesn't make sense to be launching the page at all times here either. But I want it to create a problem for us that we need to address. So let me remove this. Expectedly, I would expect that this would fail, right? Because if it's able to launch one of it successfully, the rest of them will struggle. Now, come on. Have I missed out any? Okay, yes, this place. Student login. So if I try to run this right now, after it successfully runs the admin login scenario, it would fail on the other ones expectedly, because when the login has terminated, because it will only be able to instantiate the driver for the first method. It won't be able to instantiate the driver for the other methods. Once this is done, the rest would fail. As you can see, it can only instantiate itself for for one method. So how do we now make sure that this driver, as we have created it here, can work for every method? What do we do? So in order to address that issue, in the next video we will introduce annotations and modularizing. We would really break our test down into different modules and see how we can always reference these modules. So which means we will be moving away from working inside our Java source. We'll be moving into our main source. We'll be moving into the test source to write a proper test and use annotations to be able to get the things that we want. So thank you for getting this far. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.